Girl, you have got to try this Laneige lip mask. Trust me, my lips needed that love. Love these vanilla vibes from Kayali. That top note is just so smooth.
Smooth and stunning. That's what you get with this K18 hair mask.
Those brands everybody's talking about, they're at Sephora. Discover the hype with the hottest names in beauty, including Laneige, Kayali, K18, and Rare Beauty. Click or tap the banner to discover the next big thing. Only at Sephora.
As much as we love our Portland, there's still plenty that annoys, baffles, and infuriates all of us about living here. So today on CityCast Portland, we're tapping into our thriving comedy scene for its hottest takes and grumpiest gripes. And helping me share some submissions from our city's funniest people is comedian Jay Fluellen. It's Thursday, January 23rd. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Jay, you pitched us this, right?
I pitched this with you, yeah. And I just love CityCast. And I had such like a fun response from the thrift store episode of, you know, so many people reaching out to me being like, wow, I listened to you on CityCast. And I was like, what? Shortly after that episode aired, I went to the Gospel Mission Thrift in Tigard, and Katie Wynn, one of Portland's finest stand-up comedians, sees me in there and was like, Jay, I was like, oh my God, Katie Wynn. She's like, yeah, my boyfriend listens to CityCast. We just moved in together. We have an apartment. We are here because you told us to come here. And now you are here.
You're like full circle. You should have texted me. I could have shown up.
Yeah.
We could just blown their minds.
Yeah. And be like, here's Claudia behind this dilapidated armoire. Who's behind this smelly grandpa's raincoat? It's Claudia.
It's me. Well, Jay, you're joining us as a representative and tour guide of sorts of the Portland comedy scene.
I accept this title. It's been a long time coming.
And a lot of comedy, as we know, is based around personal gripes, making that funny.
Yes, the Portland gripes.
So as a comedian, I wondered if you've learned anything about the art of the gripe.
Okay, well, you know, the art of the gripe, I mean, it is good. You know, if we have a common enemy, then we are friends. Yeah, I mean, if it's like a gripe, then it usually works because it's like resonates. It's like, oh yeah, I hate that on-ramp going to 205, trying to get to the airport that there's no room to merge and everyone doesn't care about you because they're driving to Washington. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a gripe. That's
something relatable is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, if it hits a chord, and, you know, a lot of times with like comedy, especially like stand-up, you know, you want to say something or think of an idea that everyone's thinking, but like the normal person, the muggle, like has never voiced. And so then you give it, you know, some verbiage. You're like, yeah, I do hate that on-ramp to 205 going to the airport. You know, like that's, I mean, it's a powerful thing to like find something. And then also then in the age of the internet, be the first comic to say it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, before we get really into it, what's your biggest Portland gripe as of right now?
Thank you so much. I have some honorable mentions that I would like to rapid fire you and have you give like a one word or a reaction, just like a small reaction to each honorable mention. Okay, honorable mention number one, the Water Bureau just raising its rates to build some infrastructure.
How dare they?
They did not ask us. We did not want that. No one needs a cover over the Mount Tabor water reservoir because one random person peed in it. Okay, honorable mention gripe number two. Communication on the Portland art tax. It's not enough.
You mean the communication, the art tax is enough.
Yes, I voted it. I wanted it. I want art. I support art. But good God, if you miss it, it is savage repercussions. And you cannot plead with them. You're like, I want to pay this $35. Please let me. I didn't mean, you know, like, well, we sent a carrier pigeon 16 years ago. You should have known. And it's also the website is all wackadoodle.
Oh my God. Yes.
I accidentally paid for the future year and then got charged for the current year. And I was like, well, why would I pay for the future year and not anyway? That's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Voodoo Donuts, of course, completely overrated. Why does it represent us? I don't need dried out cereal cutting up the roof of my mouth. Your reaction?
I mean, I agree. We did a donut episode and we specifically just tried voodoo just so we could just be like, can we just talk about this? Can we talk about how this is the donut of Portland?
How did this happen?
Yeah, but I feel like to be honest, I feel like that's low-hanging fruit because I've not met one voodoo person. I'm not one person that's like,
because they don't live here.
Yeah,
somehow
no.
It becomes the tourist thing. Yeah, anyway, that's an honorable mention. But my true gripe with Portland at the moment is we don't need In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, you're wrong.
Coming up here.
Yeah, you're wrong.
We do not need that. There is no vegetarian options. There's lines out the yin-yang. There's, a sad grilled cheese does not a vegetarian option.
I grew up eating that. I know.
No.
They used to call it the Wish Burger, and then people were just like rude, and they're like, we'll step back. We'll step back.
I Googled, okay, what are the vegetarian options in and out? And it was like 29 items, and one was like fries, and then the next one was like fries without salt. And I was like, that doesn't count. But we do not need In-N-Out Burger coming north. We need Burgerville going south. That's what we need. We need Oregon,
L-O-L. And I know you're a vegetarian because you just said that.
Yes. Yeah. And Burgerville pioneered like a garden burger in the early days.
No, for sure.
And then just invented their own plant-based burger, which is pretty good. And it like compares to the Beyond Meat burger. Like it's good. Burgerville, it's fast food, but it's elevated fast food. And it's like, does In-N-Out have a poster of where these onions come from? Do I know the farmer where this food has come from? I don't. I do not. Do I do that at Burgerville? Yes, I do. So we need our culture going south and no In-N-Out coming north.
Oh my God. Jay, are you born and raised Oregonian?
Born and raised Oregonian. Burgerville is in my veins.
All right.
We don't need the lines.
Okay, one more. You get one more gripe.
No, this is it. Okay. We don't need the lines, the car lines that In-N-Out Burger has. Lines for cars are for the Christian right at Chick-fil-A. Okay? That's all I have to say about that.
I agree with you there. That I agree with. I don't understand the lines. It's like, it's a burger. Calm down.
Yeah.
It's the best damn burger you'll get. But yeah, calm down.
Calm down.
Well, you have reached out across the Portland comedy scene and solicited similar gripes from other of your favorite comedians. And I'm really excited about this. So the first one is Ben Harkins. Like, who is this guy?
Ben Harkins, current reigning Portland's funniest person. He's been in the game forever. He's ginger. He's lovely. He's short. He's strong. And might have the deepest voice in Multnomah County.
Deeper than mine.
Deeper than Darth Vader.
All right, well, this is what Ben had to say.
Dear listener, my gripe with Portland is driving downtown. It's an idiotic labyrinth of one-way streets and turn-only lanes. Do you have to make a left turn to reach your destination? Too bad. You've got to go up 3 streets, turn right twice, make a left. Are you lost yet? That's okay because there's no place to park. What is this? City planning or a game of chutes and ladders? Give me a break.
Okay, Ben. It's called a bus, and it's called a bike, and it's called 2 legs that you have. I hate when people complain about parking downtown because I'm like, yeah, I know it sucks, huh? You should probably figure that out. I don't know.
I am going to disagree with Ben. I do like the confusing nature of downtown, just to weed out the Californians or like I don't know. Like, I don't mind it. And I also just like live my life where I always get a good parking spot. So. Oh,
Jay is one of the favored.
God's chosen people. Yeah.
Okay. No diss to Ben, but he's wrong. Okay.
He's wrong, but sounds great being wrong.
Yeah. That was a good voice, by the way.
Yeah, get this guy a voiceover gig.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, well, let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, more fresh, homegrown, handcrafted gripes from our comedy scene.
Do you plan your vacations based on whether you can speak the local language? With Babbel, language no longer has to be the barrier. I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast, and I went to Mexico City a couple of years ago with my girlfriend, who's a native Spanish speaker, so I just let her do all the talking, like all of it. I adored the city, and now I'm going to go back in a couple of months, but with my college roommates, who are a bunch of middle-aged men, none of us Spanish speakers. When I was younger, I might not have been bold enough to do that. But now I'm not anxious because Babbel has me covered. Thanks to Babbel, I know how to order a taxi, how to give directions, how to order in a restaurant, all the small and useful bits of language that make international travel easier. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons, handcrafted by over 200 language experts, get you to begin speaking your new language in 3 weeks or whatever pace you choose. And because conversing is the key to really understanding each other in a new language, Babbel is designed using practical, real-world conversations, especially the sort you need while traveling. Food, how to get places. Babbel's tips and tools are inspired by the real-life stuff you actually need when communicating. With a focus on conversation, you'll be ready to talk wherever you go. So I hope I'll see you in Mexico in a couple of months. Or, as we say, espero verte en Mexico en un par de meses. So let's get more of you talking in a new language. Babbel is gifting CityCast listeners 60% off subscriptions at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Babbel.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, next up is Justin Himes. What do you like about him?
Oh, Justin Himes, he's a staple of the Portland improv community, main stage player at Kickstand Comedy, member of fantastic improv group J Names.
Okay, well, Justin has a gripe about drinking. Here it is.
I think that the majority of craft brew enthusiasts in Portland are just lying to themselves. They're just alcoholics who want to turn it into more of a culture. They need, something with deeper meaning, something with more detail, something artisan in order to justify drinking 10 beers in a night.
Preach.
Yeah, like going to a beer fest, it's like, are you really going to taste all those notes of chocolate and citrus in your 7th beer in like an hour and a half? I personally think probably not.
I mean, it's hard to argue that one.
Hard to
really
hard to disagree. And also, like, it's okay. It is okay if it's okay.
Do you drink beer?
I don't.
Yeah.
If forced to at gunpoint, I will, and it better be like dark or like something like that. I prefer cider. But I believe it's so true. I mean, the same thing. I mean, I'm a cannabis user, so the same thing is like, wow, this was like grown only on Tuesdays under the full light of the moon. It's like, just smoke it. Whatever. Like give it to you. I don't care about the tannins, and it's the same thing for beer.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, like there is like the upper crust of all things and like there's quality and not quality, but for the normal person, yeah, like if you're drinking those beers and calling it like you're, a cheesemonger of beer, it's like you're just getting drunk.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. I like balance. I was going to like jump in for the craft beer enthusiast, but I was like, yeah, you know what? Justin's right. I got nothing on this gripe.
He's right, but it's also like the person who's doing that, like, we're cheering you on. Like call it what you will.
Totally. If you have a hobby, go for it. As long as you're not driving after your hobby.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it is basically drinking culture. Because if you think of other vices, accepted vices, there are cannibal festivals, there are beer festivals, but you're never going to be like.
Wait, did you say cannibal? Did you say cannibal?
Cannabis.
I was like, I don't go to those.
I feel like
Claudia.
I said cannabis, but you know what? Let's rewind the tape. Did I say cannibal?
We had a Freudian slip here.
You know what I want? I want tape rewind noise and me to be like, Cannibal Festival.
Yeah. I'm not Army Hammer. I'm Jay Fluelling.
All right. Well, finally, you brought this clip from Kelly Thomas. Who is she?
Kelly Thomas is an incredible stand-up comedian, also an improviser, and I absolutely adore her. She's a little new on the scene, but like storytelling from the heart, queer comic, absolutely adore her. She's going places, so keep your eye on Kelly Thomas.
Kelly's is short and sweet. I'm imagining just as she is. Is she short? Is she just...
No.
Okay. Well, here it is.
My gripe with Portland is that it effectively shuts down in terms of nightlife like around 9 to 10 o'clock. And I think that it needs some more late night shit.
I mean,
Amen.
Preach, Kelly, preach.
Yes.
I feel like that is a big deterrent in Portland officially becoming a real city.
Yeah.
Is having a nightlife and making our downtown functional.
Yeah.
Making our downtown functional for a nightlife.
So true. I think that is like the catalyst of like, is this a real city? Can you do something at 11? Is there a midnight showing of something? You know, all that stuff. Like we are lacking it. And I'm with you, Kelly. I mean, if there's a nightlife, then it's like more safety. There's more things going on. There's more people around. I mean, it's like right now, like the only thing you can do for like food is like nachos at the Matador, which I love. But it's I mean, like me and my friends visiting, and it was like, what are we gonna do after my play? And it was like, well, Matador, I'm tired of nachos. And so it's like, yeah, I agree with you, Kelly Belly.
Yeah, I feel like someone needs to take a big swing, you know, because this is a if you build it, they will come scenario. But the restaurant and the bar scenes right now, they're running on such tight margins that it's a big swing. We need like you know, I don't know if we need a Phil Knight type angel to come through.
We need a Leica Studios. We need a business that is just funded for the good of the people, not expected to make a profit.
Yeah. John, our executive producer, just gave us a nod like late night donuts. So I think he's referring to Voodoo, which we have spurred.
Okay. We've already covered this. Voodoo is not the answer to this gripe.
Okay. Well, finally, Kelly actually gave us a few clips. So let's see what we've got here.
In the city of Vontrados,
Yes.
in Greece, on Easter, two rival churches along a river will shoot fireworks at each other. Hundreds and hundreds of fireworks.
Is this a gripe?
They will just pummel each other.
It's getting there.
Now, here's the thing. Portland has a river. We have fireworks. Why don't we do the exact same thing? I don't know. And that's a gripe for me.
I am on board, Kelly Thomas.
I'm like
This adds to nightlife.
No, this adds to fires too soon. I mean, like, what?
You know, but it's got to be connected to like a rain festival, so like everything's damp.
Wet.
You know,
Yeah.
like we don't want to relive the gorge fire.
I'm not seeing this happening in our lifetime, Kelly. But you know what? Shoot for the stars.
shoot for the east side. That's what I say.
Not for me with a bottle rocket.
And as somebody, you know, who did or may not have like aimed a Roman candle at their buddy, you know, we got to relive that. We got to reclaim.
Yeah. Look, listen, I want you to come back, but I want to be very discerning about what gripes are and maniac rants. You know what I mean?
I also love that it's like, I have a fantasy and that's my gripe with this city.
We burn the city to the ground.
Sounds like it's just a personal wish that, you know, if given a magical lamp, you could make that happen.
All right. Okay. So we have one last clip. From Kelly. I'm afraid.
Thank God.
My gripe with Portland is that I feel like we actually do have really good food, and everyone who thinks that we have shitty food just ended up going to some of the shittier restaurants in Portland, like Voodoo Donuts, where they got like a super stale donut with really crappy cereal on it. And it's like, there are at least 4 other better donut places to go to. But every time I go to another city, I try their food. I don't think it's as good as Portland's, and I feel bad about it, but it's my gripe because I actually think we have really great food.
Mm.
Yeah.
Amen.
Preach.
Amen.
No, for reals. And I know that you guys are a different breed, you guys being comedians, because you eat late. And so Voodoo keeps coming up, and it seems like a personal gripe between the late night community and Voodoo, to be honest.
Okay.
Because no hate to Voodoo. You know, Voodoo is doing its thing, and I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. But I will say, as a person who has traveled extensively in the United States, Portland might have one of the best food scenes in terms of like bang for your buck.
Totally. I 1000% agree. Like, we've got breakfast. What do you want? A million breakfast places. They're all of high quality. There's
Before
such
8
great
p.m.
food. Yeah, food carts. I mean, you throw a rock, you're going to hit a food cart pod with like 2 options. And, yeah, like the food is good. I mean, I've also traveled to the United States pretty extensively, been everywhere, as it would seem. But like, yeah, I've never been blown away by like the food. And, people throw around like best pizza in Portland, and like New Yorkers are like, how dare you? But like, honestly, another one of my like, honorable mention gripes that I didn't mention because I wasn't allowed is that like everyone is very passionate. Like there's a lot of artists in Portland. There's a lot of people doing things and making things because like the culture like supports that here. And so like there's a lot of culinary like people who are like just making it happen, and it's spectacular. And so, yeah, I mean, we got the good food, and if people don't feel that way or they express it that way, 1, they're from California, or 2, they went to the wrong place.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is that you didn't specifically do a California gripe. It was just all enveloped. You know what I mean? Like enveloping a cheese and an enchilada all over this entire gripe. Every gripe was basically a California dish. And I appreciate that.
I'm an Oregonian through and through. I mean, like every adult in my life growing up, like the conversation always came back to like California hate, and I think it comes from economics and Reagan and things that are bigger than me. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
Though much love to LA right now.
Much love and thought. And I love San Diego.
Do you?
And I love San Francisco. So to visit.
It sounds like you might enjoy California.
I enjoy California, and I love Californians in California.
Gotcha. Okay. In their native habitat.
Yeah. And actually, like, I welcome them to Oregon. I also just don't want, there's a lot of like California expectations. Like, wow, it rains a lot here. It's like, yeah, no shit. No shit. If you don't like it, go back to Sacramento. Like, I mean, good God, I can't, cater to your seasonal depression.
Who wants to go back to Sacramento? Okay, well,
No
where
one.
can we see all these comedians perform? Do they have shows coming up?
Great question. So Ben Harkins, he does Chill and Phil over in the Outlook area, the North Portland. That's one of his long-standing stand-up comedy shows. You can catch him and all of Portland's greatest there's. You can check out Justin Himes at Kickstand Comedy. He's a main stage player on all kinds of teams, all kinds of like all over their calendar. And Kelly Thomas, you can check her out at Curious Comedy Theater, and she does queer shows all over town. So those are the 3. That's how you catch up with them.
Nice. And if you mean the Chill and Phil on Lombard, I think that's Portsmouth and not Overlook. Sorry, I'm a North Portland snob, so I kind of know my neighborhood.
Corrected and accepted.
Well, thank you so much, Jay. I hope we're able to do this again because this was a lot of fun.
Totally. I'm here for your comedy Portland needs.
And now for some events happening this week. Every Thursday on the show, we like to bring you a few recommendations to help you plan your weekend. And here's what we got. Tonight, 4-time Grammy Award winner Antonio Sanchez is taking the stage to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Alejandro Inarritu's Academy Award-winning film Birdman with a live performance of its score. If you don't remember, that's the really drum-heavy one. Sanchez improvised most of the original music for the film, so each performance is unique. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. and tickets are only $35 at the Patricia Research Center for the Arts in Beaverton. That's going to be a special one. And this Sunday, Portland Art Museum is having a Miller Family Free Day where admission is absolutely free thanks to Sharon L. Miller and her family, as well as the Lamb Baldwin Foundation. So now you know it's free all day to anyone, and not just people with the surname Miller, like I had originally thought. Strongly worded letter deleted. Also this Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m., the Human Access Project is celebrating a full year of no sewage overflows in the Willamette River by hosting a cold dip off the Willamette boat ramp. Listen, even if you don't join the dip, I can attest, Human Access Project events are always super fun. There will be music, there's going to be community and vibes, and there's going to be 2 wood fire saunas on site, including one on a boat. All this is just a small list of the many events our newsletter editor has gathered, so for even more local news and events, sign up for our daily newsletter, Hey Portland, or check out our website, portland.citycast.fm/events. We'll make sure to throw a link in the show notes. Well, that's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.